Good afternoon, I'm Rob Johnson.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Chicago is on alert tonight because of a terror warning. Media reports out of Switzerland say our city may be a target for ISIS.
Geneva is already stepping up security outside the United Nations. In addition to Chicago, Toronto, Ontario is also mentioned as a possible target. Our Chief Correspondent Jay Levine joins us now. And Jay, is the crosshairs, in fact, in Chicago in the crosshairs of ISIS?
Yeah, not really certain about that, Rob. They're calling it a specific threat in Geneva, Switzerland, but here, less so. Though investigators say the plotters there also mentioned Chicago and Toronto as other possible targets.
Authorities believe it's members of the same group, perhaps even the mastermind of the attacks which killed 130 in Paris, now in Switzerland, and raising concerns at UN headquarters in Geneva and elsewhere.
I think that we are taking the right kinds of precautionary measures.
While Swiss authorities are on alert, the fact that the extremists also discussed the idea of launching attacks in Chicago and Toronto has White House spokesman Josh Earnest taking notice. He said if there were any specific threats involving Chicago, Homeland Security would be on it.
If they have information like that, then they'll be the ones to share it.
CBS 2 security consultant Ross Rice knows how that works.
It really depends, Jay, on how much information they have and how specific the threat target is. It doesn't appear that they have a specific date or time or even a location other than Chicago.
Past plots targeting Chicago include the aborted attack on the Willis Tower by al-Qaeda wannabes, the explosive copier cartridges destined for Chicago but intercepted in Yemen, and the underwear bomber who flew to Detroit because airfares to Chicago were too high. In each case, there were more specifics than we have today.
Since Chicago was mentioned, don't you run the risk of being second-guessed if in fact something does happen here and a terror alert wasn't escalated?
Well, absolutely, and that's what is going to drive some of the reaction from the FBI, from the Chicago Police Department. If it's a vague general threat, Chicago sometime next year, there really isn't much that you can do on that. It's not what they call actionable intelligence.
I'm told Chicago police are conferring with the feds, but there are no new orders and no alerts out of 35th and Michigan or OEMC. From the mayor's office, urging people to remain vigilant and, in its words, if you see something, say something. Rob, Erica?
Well, Chicago, obviously a huge city, many reasons to have it as a target, but what else about it makes it so unique in terms of it being right now the only U.S. city listed?
Well, obviously you hit it right on the head, and that's the unspoken thought that that's President Obama's hometown. And ever since President Obama was elected in 2008, terrorists have targeted Chicago. So far, nothing actionable, nothing has gotten through.
Okay.